Okay, Angie, here we are.
Hi,
Another Friday, another podcast. How do you feel?
I'm feeling good. This is the best thing I have to do on a Friday. So that's
Yes,
nice. That's lovely.
that's uh that's not pathetic, is it, Angie?
No, no, no. I feel, I could have been out with friends and boys or whatever, but no, I choose to do this.
Look, you know, in a way, in a way, like if you really, really think about it, we are being productive, It's
Sure.
in a way we're better than all the other people, wouldn't you say?
In a way, I'm thinking, I really think this podcast could take off because we're super weird and people like that.
Hmm.
But in a way, also, I'm thinking, I hope it doesn't, because, like, imagine me on a date and someone's like asking, "Oh, so what do you do?" And I have to tell them, "Oh, I do a podcast with my cousin." Like,
Oh,
how lame is that?
on a Friday evening. Yeah, on Friday evenings.
Oh,
That's our time.
imagine. Imagine
Yeah.
someone being like, "Hey, do you want to go out on Friday?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I have to do a podcast with my Oh, I hate myself. I hate myself.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, Do we want this podcast to blow up and be famous for it, or would we rather have this like a shameful chapter in our history that we never bring up again after we're done? All right,
We'll see.
we'll see. We shall see. So, we had said in July last time that we wanted to introduce a new thing in the beginning where I give you, I don't know if this is going to be a recurring segment, but for this podcast, I'll give you a couple of facts and I'll have you react to them, like interesting
Yep.
facts. All right.
Because I feel
So
like in the beginning we're not super articulate. So
speak for
if we're
yourself,
talking,
okay? This is all done for you. Don't say we, it's you.
so I feel
But
like I need to. Oh, oh, it's a turtle. Okay.
it is a turtle. But yeah,
Oh
you were
wow,
saying?
this is so techy. Okay. No, I was saying I need to warm up, and I feel like the audience deserves to see the warm up. But anyways, as I was saying that, the screen changed, and there's a picture of a turtle now.
So we're in a
Wow.
different world now. Yes. So the
Exactly.
yeah, I thought about like what I might want to talk to you about, and as the audience I'm sure has picked up by now, you have a let's just say less than healthy obsession with plumbing, and to a certain degree plumbers. So we I wanted to show the audience my sort of the things that are going through my mind and that are much more healthy. So we are going to be looking at a couple of facts from the natural world and see how you react to them. So, this thing is something I learned about turtles today, and it completely blew my mind. So, the humble land turtle, did you know that turtle shells were used as a calendar across the world in ancient times?
Oh no, I didn't.
Right. So, look, so
And I
the
should
turtle
know this, right? Because anyways, because of
supposedly
my degree.
supposedly you studied archaeology and whatever, but like actually I'm not totally blaming this on you because like we know the state of the education system. I'm sure they didn't teach anything as cool as turtle shell calendar mythologies.
Oh
So
wow. Okay, I'm seeing it on the screen and wow, okay.
yes. So it's not the our current calendar. I don't know what our calendar is called. I guess solar calendar or something. It's the lunar calendar. So there are 13 months, each with
Mm.
28 days, and people literally like kept turtles where they would mark off like, month
Oh,
one, day one is done. The way we also mark calendars, but they did it on turtle shells.
oh,
I
that
thought
is
it's
so much cooler. Wait, I mean
right.
turtle shells when the turtles were alive or
That's a good question. I think when alive, I hope. Let's say when alive. Let's say they didn't like eat the turtle and then just kept the shell or something.
okay, good.
Let's
That's
have
good to
faith
know.
in humanity. But yeah,
Good to know.
I thought it's so mind blowing, and
So mind-blowing.
yeah, like there's just so much in the animal kingdom, but like this is just one of them.
I when I hear of stuff like this, my first question is, who was the person who figured this out the first? Because if you came up to me and you said, "Hey, like, come check this turtle out," I I'd be
Yeah,
like, "No, thank you. We're just gonna keep digging the
slowly,
coal mines."
yeah, slowly like retreat away from this person. Call your dad and be like, "There's a weirdo here." Yeah.
He's counting the turtles.
So I think we can like maybe safely say that the person that came up with these turtle things was not like the most successful with the ladies. Was
Yeah,
not Genghis Khan,
he was spending his Friday nights with his cousin talking, probably.
Are we are any better? I mean, we're making a podcast. The guy's at least inventing a calendar. I mean, I'm just saying,
True.
like, we have to respect our male counterparts, the ones that are looking at turtles on a Friday night. We respect them, okay?
Oh, about calendars, we said he, but some person, maybe this was on Twitter, I don't know. Someone said like, "Oh, I think calendars were invented by a woman because why would a man need to track a monthly cycle?"
Uh,
Because,
yeah.
you
I I,
know,
I
it
heard
makes so much more sense.
so I mean, I heard this similar stuff, but from another perspective, especially the lunar calendar, which is where the men one invented the calendar to figure out when to keep away from the when she's gonna go crazy. I mean, I feel like both motivations are
That
fine,
also makes sense.
right? Right. Poor guy with the turtle trying to understand the woman. Yeah, trying not to get
Okay.
eaten by his sisters. I mean,
True. Wow,
both
this was
things
so
work.
mind-blowing.
Yeah, right. They also said so. There's this ancient mythology of like the world's on top of a turtle or something like this, as I'm showing in the imagery, where like the world is carried on the back of a turtle, on the back of three elephants, etc. And like they think this. I remember this from a long time ago, and I used to think like, how did anyone ever think of this? But now they say with the calendar stuff, it might just be
Mm.
related. Like that might be the origin. So yeah.
Mhm. I've always loved turtles. They're kind of useless, but like they're such chill animals, you know? I have so
Yeah,
much respect for turtles.
because they're chill.
Yeah, they just eat grass. They're cool.
They hang out. They live
Yeah.
forever. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're slow, you know. They don't bother anyone. They don't bite. They're not poisonous, not venomous, no nothing.
When you said they're not poisonous, they're not venomous, are you like being this pretentious person that knows the difference?
Well, yeah, I just want because okay, I
Zehirli
mean,
abi. It's like poisonous either way, okay? We don't need to like who ate who, doesn't
no,
matter.
no, 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 no. Snakes are venomous, but they're not poisonous.
I'm just saying, like, who ate
No,
who
no, no.
doesn't
You're not.
matter. It
Shh.
hurts you.
No, 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 no. There is a difference. There's a very clear, distinctive difference between something that's poisonous and venomous. Now, I was just pointing out turtles are neither, so they're cool animals. You can eat them, and you can be eaten by them with no harm.
We wouldn't, well, a little harm to you if you're being eaten by them.
I mean, if it bites you, you're not going to be venomized. If you bite it, you're not going to be poisonized, you know?
Okay. Poisonized. All right, all right. I still object to this like distinction that everyone seems to have learned in the last like year.
On the other
Before
hand, for example, arsenic is not venomous, but it's poisonous.
uh so what like bleach is venomous because when you pour it on yourself it hurts you?
No, okay, bleach cannot be venomous because bleach cannot ingest something else.
Right. So arsenic as well. I feel like venomous is
True, that
for
was a bad
organic.
example. I'm sorry. It should be
Okay,
for animals.
don't
True,
be
true. Sorry, that was
confusing.
one. That was one bad example. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No worries. All right. All right. I understand the distinction, and I still refuse. This is for me like the same as when I came to the US first, everyone used to say turn on the lights and turn off the lights, except immigrants who always said open the light, close the light. Okay? Like we don't need another phrase. The turn does not need to be involved in this, okay? Open close is just fine. We don't need to be that accurate, in my opinion.
Well, but it's kind of, you know, ruining someone else's language because you failed
True.
to learn it properly. It's kind of asshole behavior.
True. True. Yeah, I should
Yeah.
go back to where I came from. Yes. All right. Another
No, no,
fact.
no. Nobody wants you here. Please stay.
Nobody wants you anywhere. Imagine like trying to be deported, and they're like, the home country is like, nope, you keep her.
Nope.
Your problem now.
Have you listened to her podcast? No, no, you keep her.
Yeah, maybe that's how like we should advance space research. Just like the unwanted people, to send them to space, you actually need to have like space missions and stuff. That's
And I
a way.
feel like they would like that. And I feel like they would really like that because, you know, if you're like a gang member in prison, the food is shit. You're kind of used to the bad state of things, you know, like you don't need a working toilet like I do.
That's true.
I think criminals would really enjoy space. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think famously, I don't know like how accurate this is, but I'm told that Australia began as a prison colony. They just sent the prisoners to Australia.
I thought that was like a fact. No, it's not a fact. It's a joke.
It's probably, okay, honestly, I have a hard time imagining how a bunch of prisoners made a nice country like Australia happen, you know? Like the people serving in prison that I look at today, like don't seem to me like if you drop them off in an island, they would create civilization. Like I feel like they would just kill each other. Yeah.
I never researched anything on this topic, so but that's a good point. That's a good point. I'll Google it.
Yeah, we should look into it sometime. All right, I have two more things. So the next one involves honeybees. So I've been mesmerized for a while by an account on TikTok or Instagram, but on both, called Texas Bee Works.
I love her so much. I love her so much. Okay, when I was a kid, my grandfather used to is it called keeping bees? Beekeeping?
Yeah,
whatever.
He kept beekeeping.
Yep. I love those animals. Chill. Yeah. They would just like sit on you and like bzz, 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 bzz away. Oh, and she reminds me of my childhood. Anyways, I love her.
Yeah. Do you remember how many hives he had?
I think he had 3 boxes. Like they have these standard size box hives. He had I think 3 of them. Yeah, it should be about 3.
So I learned like that's just so fascinating. And from her and from a little bit of Googling, I learned that there's like a huge, interesting sort of philosophy of organization baked into a beehive. Like they're just fascinating creatures by themselves, even like when you watch them fly or when you watch them under a microscope zoomed up. But like the colony itself is so interesting because there are about 20,000 to 80,000, depending on, the season and such, bees inside a colony. So probably in one of those boxes, in or around one of those boxes. And they are mostly worker bees. So the worker bees are female bees. And there's a queen. And then there are a couple of hundred male bees called drone bees. And what is
accurate?
Yes. What is incredible, like I used to always think like, where does the queen come from? Do you know where she comes from?
No.
Okay, so the queen comes from all eggs that are fertilized become female, and all eggs that are unfertilized become male. And so
again, accurate.
What is it? The metaphors write themselves, right?
Yep.
So and then the queen the workers, if they need a new queen, if the queen gets too, they're vicious. Okay, bees can be vicious. Like if the queen gets too old and frail and stuff, they kill the queen, and then they make a new queen by having the larvae being fed a special type of jelly. So it's like the same uh, original, larvae that normally would have become regular worker bees, regular females. When they're
Mm.
served like a special royal jelly, they become queens.
Ooh.
It's so amazing.
Ooh.
They actually randomly, as far as scientists know, decide on like 20 kind of little larvae that they choose to feed the royal jelly. And then I think later figure out some sort of way by probably killing the remaining 19 and like picking one best one. And she becomes the queen. And then there's the matter of what happens to the bees in the winter. So,
Mm.
do you know this?
Nope.
Okay. I thought this is crazy. So, once the queen can store the sperm for like multiple years and stuff, so she doesn't need like the male to always be around. She can get what she needs from them, and then in winter, the temperatures are lower, and so they don't want extra mouths to feed, so they just kind of like take the male bees and kick them out of the colony like by
Ouch.
force,
No.
and they freeze.
This is exactly like my we should send men off to war idea, but
Exactly.
nature has done it better. Yeah.
Nature has shown you how. Like, get them,
Mm-hmm.
take what you need from them, and then like once the time is up, thank and excuse them and throw them to space. I mean, if nature is not telling us what to do, I don't know. I don't know what else is.
Wow. Oh, I didn't know this about the male bees. Ouch. That's
Yeah.
sad. But yeah, I mean, justified, but sad.
Yeah. I mean, nature knows no mercy. All right.
So next year when okay, so next year okay, I see. And they have more males next year. Okay, okay, I see, I see.
Yeah, she can just lay eggs, and if they're unfertilized, then they'll become males. What I don't understand, and I want to like look into this more, is like the genetic diversity, because that appears like the queen is just making laying eggs, of which become males who fertilize her, right? So where does the genetic diversity come in at all?
Hmm. Hmm. That's an interesting question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
Or maybe they're all sisters and brothers, you know.
Maybe they're like what is the Khaleesi Targaryens.
Targaryens, yeah.
Yes, they're all Targaryens. All right, so I have a third piece of fact, which is like a book that I bought a while ago. And I bought this book not in order to read, but merely to like admire it as a piece of work. Admire the
Mm. Oh, okay.
Northern European spirit that has made this book happen, because I strongly believe that there's no other group of people on earth that would have written a book like this. Okay, so somewhere Northern European. I'm not sure. Maybe it's English, German. Okay, but no more south than that. Like Italian, Spanish, they would not have been able to write this book. So um like you need a certain level of kind of obsessive autism to make a book like this happen. This book is huge, it's big, and it's 920 pages, and I'm going to show you the cover and a couple pages of it. All right, so
Okay, this is intriguing. The
uh
the Black Flies of North. Oh, jeez. Did you actually buy this book?
I bought this book. It's 920 or 30 pages. It's almost 1,000 pages. Okay, it's huge. Uh, it, and it is about the black flies of North America. Like these people have,
So not even South America. It's like South America is not even involved.
yes,
That's a
not
separate book. That's the second.
the second edition. Yes,
Oh,
this is
jeez.
one of seven, one for each continent.
Oh
All
my
right,
God.
look at those. It's like
Oh,
this
they
animal
actually
on the
have the
left.
pictures of the flies. Oh, this is so
Yes.
sad.
See, like this is the same guys that in a past life were writing calendars on turtles. Okay, in more recently after calendars were done, these are the same guys. They're just reincarnated, right? There's a
No,
finite
no,
amount
no,
of
no,
these
no, no,
guys.
no. Calendars are useful. This is just straight up crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
there's one way to look
black
at that. Like,
flies. Okay, something I don't understand about biology is, okay, they have these kingdom something something whatever the classifications.
oh yeah, yeah,
And
Animal Kingdom, yeah.
yeah, and oh, okay, way off tangent, but I learned a mnemonic device to remember
Uh-huh.
all of that, even though I don't know the exact titles. I learned this from one of my favorite sitcoms, Community. They were taking a biology class and they were trying to remember like the kingdom, blah blah blah, and then someone says, "Oh, like Kevin, please come over for gay sex," and it actually works.
What?
Yeah, it's a like as a mnemonic device. K kingdom, P something. Check it out. It works. So
Oh
for all the
my god.
students out there, if you need to remember like the classifications of animals, Kevin, please come over for gay sex works. Insane. Anyways, I never understood these classifications because it's like, okay, there's a clear difference between me and a bear. Fine. There's a clear difference between a black bear and a brown bear. Fine. But then it's like they name these animals based on the fact that one has a slightly wider wing and then the other one has a slightly darker wing. And I'm like, they're the same animal.
Oh yeah. I'm so surprised you made this observation, but actually there's like a thing, uh, species inflation sort of happening in science, where like the only prestige among biologists, especially nowadays, is like discovering a new species. Okay, they want to name it like, fungi jasminii, whatever. Like they want to name their pet
Oh my
species.
God. It's not
And
a new species. It's just, it's a little darker, just like have a little bit of
exactly,
a speck. Jeez.
exactly. They also do this for historical human bones. Like there's not as like clear differentiation of species between something like Homo erectus, Homo this, Homo that, but like all the homos are the same.
I just knew you were gonna make that joke. I just knew it. I laughed I pre-laughed because I knew the joke was coming.
I didn't. I when I heard myself speak, that's when I came up with it. Amazing. So all the homos are the same, basically. Okay, there's not that much Homo twinkus, Homo whatever's. Okay, that's fake. So
Also, it's okay, it's racist to categorize humans, but then when it comes to flies,
that don't even mention, like the same people that will tell you like a little speck here makes a different species with like its own rules and it has to be studied and stuff, will ignore like glaring differentiations among humans. Yeah, very 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 astute observations. I love it. I love
okay,
that you
but can
like
we
intuited this. Yeah, go back to black flies.
go back to the fact that you bought this book? Like
Oh,
you actually bought this book.
I actually, so I bought it as like a like a monument to the kind of drive in human to study absolutely like do you understand now why I said Northern European spirit? Like this could not have
Yeah,
been
yeah,
written
yeah.
by a Spaniard, by an Italian, much less like
No,
anyone
no,
else
no,
on
no,
earth.
no. Because they're drinking their wine, they have their good food, they have friends. This was British people, you'll see.
Yeah, yeah, this was like some autist person, absolutely. Now I'll show you a couple more pages. So look
Oh
at
no, no,
this.
no, no, no. Oh my God.
They made like sketches of every little part of like the mouth of the, you know um fly imaging. They put maps of where they saw particular species, like most frequently. Um, what else? They did like electron microscopy scans of I don't know, God knows what.
Oh,
And then these are like some of the, they like, obviously there was a chapter on the history of the science where they went through all of the amazing sciences, and they're all of a certain
so
type, right?
all
They're
the
no,
men who've seen flies before.
all the men that have seen and studied them before. And of course, like their names are like Harrison Garman, Samuel Hunter, right? Like there's no Abdullah here. You're not going to find that. There's no, whatever, Vladimir. Okay. There's no Vladimir. This is like uniquely, there's no Marco, Enrico, no Italians. Yeah. This is very much
True.
a Northern European amazing spirits that I loved. So I got the book.
You know, in like police shows, they have like they're chasing a serial killer, and for the first time ever, they're in their apartment, and the guy has like weird stuff. That's that stuff. The book, like that book, is that weird stuff that led to all the weird little murders. That's the book.
Imagine like someone, yeah, yeah. I mean, imagine I like take pages from this book and like superimpose the wing of a butterfly on like the map of the city and like mark stuff. I mean, there's an episode right there.
Exactly. Oh my
Oh my
God.
gosh. All right. So, Angie, would you like to introduce the topic of the day?
So, topic of the day is and we're gonna have a follow-up episode next week. But today
Mm-hmm.
it's best and worst jobs for women.
Yay. Best and
Yay.
worst jobs for
Worst jobs
women.
for women. And next week it's gonna be men.
Amazing.
Yes, we care about equality in here.
No, okay.
Yeah. Also in the middle we have a fun plumbing fact coming up.
Of course. There could be no segment without our fun plumbing facts. We don't want to disappoint the audiences who I'm sure are tuning in for that alone. Like primary, like in the
Okay,
timestamps,
they're not tuning in for your weird little fly book.
Yeah, they're like skipping over the Jasmine parts and only looking at the
Exactly.
yeah.
Parts. Do you want to shake things up a bit and start us off?
All right. Why don't we start opposite? So worst jobs for women, and then we'll
Sure.
do best. All right.
Sure.
I thought the worst job for women is lawyer.
Oh, this is such an alpha male perspective because I always hear on the alpha male podcasts like never date a lawyer. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, explain yourself.
I mean, I think actually I might agree with those alpha male for change. Okay, I generally don't, but like I and I tried to think of this from a perspective of like what is best for the woman, right? Because you can imagine. So I was caught between like um this is not what I picked for a best job, but I just want to say the way I reasoned through it. I thought like psychologist might be a best job for a woman simply because like it allows her to gaslight people. It allows her to exert like power over people and like constantly evade accountability by saying like, oh, like this is a whatever like they always make an observation and then add the word disorder and pretend like they've done science, this, like if you go to them and say, oh my god, like I'm eating a lot of chocolate, they'll call that like chocolate eating disorder. You have that. And like, the way we treat chocolate eating disorder is by cognitive behavioral like they make shit up. Okay, but this can be like enormously powerful if you want to exercise power over strangers. Like you just keep psychologizing them, like if the I don't know, if the person, if the plumber tells you like this service is going to cost this much, and you're a psychologist and you think that's too expensive, you're like, that's a like I don't know, mommy issue, price inflation disorder or whatever. Like so that's why. But the reason that I picked lawyer is from a perspective of what it does to the woman. Like, even though psychologist benefits the woman, it hurts the society at large. But I think like women lawyer, they don't necessarily, I mean, I can't say they hurt the society any more or less than male lawyers would, but I think it deforms the female spirit. It gets her to a point where like she has to argue to get what she wants. It like she's constantly in that mood, right? She has to provide facts, she has to provide evidence. And this is like very clashing with female nature, as opposed to like the psychologist, which is beautiful. It's destructive, but it's like aligned with female nature, because women love to like label shit and like psychologize and gaslight people. And psychology gives you the tools for that, right? But the law gives you the tools for like, Section 1 of Law 1 demands that these three things be met. So like, let's look if those three things are met. It's like very formulaic. And I think it like a lot of the in-person, like I think women should attempt almost, like, this is an extreme version, but I think women's general orientation to life should be, how do I get what I want before opening my mouth, right? Like the way I present myself, the way I speak, the way I, and when I say speak, I don't mean the content of the words. I mean like the softness of the voice, the cadence, the grace with which you present yourself should like allow the people around you to rearrange themselves. And yeah, and I feel like
and a lawyer can never do that. Yeah,
exactly. Like lawyers are very argumentative, very like, it looks like, Hillary in a pantsuit, like pantomiming a male, that's why I don't like it.
I agree. I'm also not a big fan of lawyers. It's a very like fake job, but it's not a fake job, but it's a fake job.
In what way?
Because like, if I murdered someone, you know that I murdered someone, let's say, it's a bit more of a primitive example, but still, there is no ifs and buts, Oh, were you in the crime scene? Did you leave DNA? Did you do this? Did you do that? And the lawyers have to argue if the police was like mean to them in the interrogation. Were their mothers mean to them? Blah, blah, blah. It's what happened. We don't need to have these tiny, teeny details of civil something, libel, another. What's the punishment for killing someone? Jail forever? Throw the person in jail forever.
Yeah, I agree.
Even
I think
for like super small corporate stuff, like it has to be, lawyers have to come in and do work papers. What's the law? What's the rule? Let's just do that. Like, why do you have to be here?
Get out of the room.
And especially because when I was renting a house, we had this contract, and I was reading this contract and I was like, there's no way I understand this contract, and there's no way the homeowner, like the person who's the landlord, is understanding this contract. Only a lawyer can understand this contract, because the stupid lawyer spent 4 years trying to understand contracts that have been written in this way. So why can't the homeowner and I write up this contract in like, I'm not going to ruin the house. I'm going to pay the rent. I promise. Signature. So why does it have to be these fancy schmancy words? Only another lawyer. Like, if there's a problem with me and the homeowner, we both have to get lawyers. So we're both losing in a way.
That's true. I agree. Like, law at one point may have served a function, but like the way it works right now is just absolute insane details. Like it's almost a farce of the law. Like, when you open a bank account and you get like 50 pages that you have to sign like on the spot, and you just keep signing and
Mm-hmm.
signing and signing, and uh, like you know, you pretend to understand and to have given consent. They pretend to have informed you, of your rights and
Mm-hmm.
responsibilities, and like there's a differentiation. There's a thing called de facto law and de jure law. Do you know the difference?
No.
So de jure law, yeah, de jure law are the laws that are written down, and then de facto law is what is actually enforced.
Mm.
So if you and I feel like we've been diverging and diverging and diverging forever. Like if you go to certain countries, then de jure law might be like if you steal something, say goodbye to your hand if you get caught within a reasonable time, within a week, let's say. There won't be like this trial investigating your
Mm-hmm.
psychology that led up to the stealing for like 5 years, right?
Oh my God,
So,
exactly, exactly.
yes. But like there, what is written and what is actually happening is pretty close. But like, I feel, especially in the US, or in the West, maybe, but especially in the US, like the gap gets wider and wider. Like the laws that are written versus like the laws that are enforced are so divergent. It's like farcical at this point. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but yes, I was reading this book about like crime basically. This FBI profiler was talking about like cases and stuff. Anyways, a
Mm-hmm.
case like horrible, horrible. Like I cried reading about it in a book, in a stupid book. Imagine the families involved, imagine the people involved. Like
Mm-hmm.
horrific. I could not talk about it in this podcast. That horrific kind of
Wow.
case. Basically, a man killed a young woman, but like the details are truly, truly stomach churning. Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
and then he gets the capital punishment. He has to be like killed, whatever. He gets the chair, and then
Mm-hmm.
like 14 years later,
Oh my God.
thousands of lawyer fees later, he's still sitting there.
Yeah.
Why? If there's capital punishment, why is he alive? Then there's no capital punishment.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you. Like there's something truly honest about about the phrase justice delayed is justice denied. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can't merely like manipulate procedural outcomes to you know, deny the justice that has been even agreed upon. And I'm sure like getting to the point where he was actually given the death penalty, even that probably took years, right? Just even getting the
Mm-hmm.
verdict.
Yeah.
But then 14 years later, you can't even carry it out. And what are 14 years spent? They're spent on investigating the psychology of the person. Like, and they all make it sound like if you disagree with this like constant elongated procedures that like so many innocent people are going to be a death penalty or whatever. I'm sorry, like we have cameras everywhere. There's like insane surveillance technology everywhere. There's very little doubt on like the murders that are happening and who made them, like
In this case, there was no doubt. Like the
yeah,
person
like
did
this
it. The
exactly
point is
like
not the doubt.
100%, like this idea that you have to constantly relitigate whether it was. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Like it's insane.
Okay, but let's get back to women. After our
Yes.
hatred for all lawyers, we were saying yes. Why specifically women? And I also
That's
agree with you because whenever I see a female lawyer, they're like vicious. They're like
they're
monsters.
so not charming. Like there's a way to
Exactly.
be a vicious, not necessarily vicious, but like a ball breaker, woman. Like
But okay,
Val.
there's a difference between like let's say femme fatale type of
Yes,
dangerous woman, like, but then there's like this vicious, resentful,
yes,
arguing her way through everything kind of lawyer woman.
yes, yes. Like everything is a haggle in life to her. Like
Mm-hmm.
everything is a bargain. And it's such a annoying, charmless, graceless quality. And I think law education encourages that.
Oh, I have a story to tell about a female lawyer. This is I don't know how correct it is to like implicate all female lawyers just based off on one interaction, but
We're all
anyways.
about generalizing. Please tell me.
So I was working in a film festival way back when, I was in college. I was responsible for like checking the tickets, guest experience stuff, whatever. And right before this film festival had begun, and it was like the biggest in the city, a bomb had went off. It was so
Oh.
unexpected. It was people died, like horrible thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to go through like bomb training.
Mm.
Uh, like yeah, a security person came and like told us how the stories I have from that film festival,
Oh
like
my God.
truly.
Now I want to know about this. But yeah, go ahead.
But anyways, so one rule that was implemented for the first time ever for this festival, because everyone was on edge and nobody wanted to go anywhere closed and stuff like that, was that we had to search bags.
Mm. Ooh.
Um, just to make people feel a little bit safer, and like security personnel was hired for the first time ever and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And like the entire city knew that everyone was scared, everyone didn't feel safe, we're trying to sort of get back to normal. Like everyone knew that a bomb had gone off a couple days even like before.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so we're searching people's bags as they come in, and there's this law in Turkey that you cannot search a lawyer's bag.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, it's mostly pertaining to like police cannot search a lawyer's bags, stuff like lawyers get that special privilege.
I
Um,
really, what? Like
yeah.
any lawyer? Wow. That's crazy. Okay. Okay.
I mean, obviously, unless you're a criminal, like if there's like a permission like to search, that's something else. But regularly, like if you're a police officer, you can't just go to a lawyer and say, "I'm just going to look into your bag."
Oh,
Um,
but like, can they search? Do you know if
yes,
like,
yeah. If you're a
uh,
normal, regular person, and a police says, I'm searching your bag," you have to show your bag.
right? Uh, okay, I have so many. Hold on, I don't want to drill the. I have a million questions about everything, but we'll keep going.
Um, so anyways, a lawyer woman comes in, but we don't know she's a lawyer, obviously, but she made it known.
That's
Um,
just she announced it. I can
and
tell.
this and the security personnel was like, "Can we look into your bag?" It's just it's just a quick look, because obviously, like a tiny little woman is not the terrorist they're looking for.
Yeah.
But still, it's just so everyone feels safe, that we feel protected, whatever. Everyone's on edge. And she just open your bag. The security woman looks into it and says, "Okay, go ahead." That's
Mm-hmm.
it. Like nobody's touching your stuff or whatever. And this woman's like, "No, I'm a lawyer. Don't you know it's illegal to search a lawyer's bags?" And then the security personnel was like, "I'm sorry, but like this is because of this bombing that happened. I have to search your bag just so there's nothing in it. It's fine." "No, I'm gonna call the police. Oh my God, you cannot touch my bags." And then she took out her like lawyer ID and she was like, "I'm a lawyer. You can't even ask me that." Like whole thing.
Uh-huh.
And then she stormed off. And I'm like, "Girl, whose lawyer are you?" Like, there's nothing in that bag. Just show
Uh,
the bag. Just show the bag to the poor security woman so that we all feel safe. And it's like a difficult time. It's a tough time for everyone. Everyone's on edge. Just show your bag. What's the big deal? I get it. If there's a police officer pushing you to do so, you want to stand your ground, whatever, it's fine. This is just some hired security personnel who's just going to take a quick look-see in your bag, in the bag that clearly has nothing in it. So why is this so why did you have to argue?
I mean, Angie, I feel like of all the examples where female lawyers, are unnecessarily argumentative and are doing nonsense, like you picked one where I side with the lawyer. I can't believe it.
Why?
I I actually so I I side with it on more like principle grounds. So you yourself said, right, that a little woman like that is not going to have a bomb in her bag. right? In fact, like you could probably profile people very accurately as to like at least down to like 1/10 of the population, at least, like if not 1/100th of like
I
who
mean,
might and might not
in
have
the
bombs in
Turkish
their bag.
case, okay, in the Turkish case, let's be honest, you're looking for a man,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's a bomb, like if it's a public bombing, you're looking for a woman. But if it's like a closed space bombing, you're looking for a man.
Mm-hmm.
Either like Muslim or Kurdish descendant, and that's it. It's never someone else. It's always that like
Exactly.
demographic.
So, like this idea that you need, in order to establish security, you need to search the bag of some little lawyer lady, or not like not lawyer, but you can tell from the way that she presented herself, like she was probably dressing in a Western sort of way, right? She probably had like pretty kempt hair. Am I accurate in this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, like, nobody ever fitting that profile has committed a bombing of any sort, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
like, why does she need to be harassed? Like, I am in favor of profiling, and I don't think that just to, um,
I mean, she
and
wasn't
when
harassed. Everyone's bags were checked.
no, everyone's bags. Yes, but like it's a form of harassment to search people's, it's inconvenience, harassment, call it what you want. But like an invasion of privacy. I mean, how often do you ever show the contents of your purse to anyone else in
True,
life,
but
right?
she thinks she gets a free pass because she's a lawyer.
Yes, but like this
I
is
mean, she
a
wasn't defending, she wasn't saying, oh, you can't search my bag because in my privacy or because I don't look like the terrorists. She was saying, I'm a lawyer, do whatever you want to all these other plebs, but don't touch my bag.
fair, but like she had a reason. I mean, if you're a regular member of the public, like you have to present your bag, and it's kind of ingrained in the people. They have no other excuse, right? They can't argue with you about the finer points of privacy. But like she had this one way of, getting out of it, and she chose to assert her privilege, which was given to her. Like I mean, I'm already against like the searching the plebs because by profiling you could have avoided
I
so
so
much of
agree with
these
you on
cues
this. I
and
so agree
stuff.
with you. I
Yeah,
so agree with you on this. But she was very annoying
fair. I mean, she
in
could
any
have done it.
case.
So I will agree with you. Like there's a while I agree with the content of her decision, right? There's a way to do this. Maybe this is where we meet, right? There's a way to do it in a charming way, like assertive and standing your ground, but not like
Mm-hmm.
argumentative, not making people feel bad, like almost like um, being puzzled and not understanding why they even want to search your purse because you're a lawyer and like lawyers don't get, like there's a gentle way to do this.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
And there's like an annoying way to do this. So yes, I fully agree with you. Like the argumentative, loud, spiraling out of control, hysterical. That's what lawyers are encouraged to do. And on this, I agree. Yeah, it's a terrible look on a woman. Like it's already a bad look on a man, but like if a man is like spitting out of control, yapping and jumping up and down, like it fits the character much more than a woman.
Sorry, I'm eating ice cream. Just give
Uh-huh.
me a second. This
No,
is,
it's fine. What
this
ice
is how
cream?
serious I take this podcast.
Yeah. At some point, like we'll hear and
Yeah.
now you'll be like, now the ice cream is leaving my body, and we'll hear
It's this
toilet sounds.
popsicle. So
Popsicle.
nice.
Oh,
Anyways,
lemon? Which
um,
flavor?
lemon, exactly. How'd you know?
Uh, it's like
Wow.
very refreshing. I know. Şey buz
Yes.
parmak mı?
Exactly.
Oh my
Exactly.
God.
Wow. This is freaky. This is so freaky. Exactly
I love
that.
parmak.
Well, you have to eat that disgusting American ice cream. Sorry.
Yeah, when I come back, we'll get more bus parks. Yes. All right. If you're done, your time with your
Mm-hmm.
ice cream, Inju, would you like to tell us the worst job for a female that you thought of?
Okay. So I think the worst job for me female is, and I'm gonna give examples, but like the definition is like a high stakes job where the stakes are fake high stakes.
Oh, Okay.
For example, like manager of something, like a bank manager or like financial manager, there's this huge responsibility. It's a fast-paced job. It's chaotic, but the stakes are high, but then it's fake high stakes, it's like, oh, we should have sold this stock, we didn't, whatever, like it's all fake high stakes. I
Hmm.
think that it's so masculine for women to go for these jobs that sort of strip them of their, natural grace, natural calm, natural organizational abilities, and like throws them into this chaos, and it's for all for nothing.
But in
The
your
lawyers too,
opinion,
they're like, oh, we need to get this proposal done in 2 days or we're gonna die. It's all gonna come crashing down. And especially for women in managerial positions, they make life hell for everyone.
hmm, for everyone working for them or
Yeah.
even with them, maybe. Hmm.
Mm.
And you think that's because like they can't handle the stress of the deadlines and stuff?
But yeah, they can't handle the stress because, so if it was like a document sorting job, if I gave a woman 1,000 papers and I told her, sort these out by color, and
Hmm.
you have 2 hours. See, that's a stressful job. That has like a strict deadline, and the woman would be fine
Hmm.
because it's a job to be done. But then when it's like more imaginary consequences, it's very difficult for women to actually manage the situation well.
Hmm. Like abstract, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep. That's why nobody wants a female boss, by the way,
Because like,
which they
yeah,
don't.
yeah. Oh, this is true. Yeah, if you get like people, if there are only two kinds of people, the ones that trust you enough to admit it and the ones that don't trust you enough to admit it, but like their stance is 100% the same either way. Yeah, it is rare to um yeah, find a woman that you're saying like it's not just the stress, it's like the job that has to be done is abstract, the consequences are
Yeah,
abstract, they're
okay,
all
because
like
like
living.
I'm not saying women can't be managers, they can't lead, because like a woman makes an excellent school principal.
Mm,
Because that's a different kind of stressful job,
hmm,
as opposed to like a manager of a finance firm or like HR manager.
interesting, I see. Yeah,
The
the
deliverables are different, the outcomes are different, the consequences are different, the people you deal with are different. I don't know if it makes sense. Have I been articulate enough?
no, yeah, yeah, I'm trying to sort of digest it and think through it because you're right, like it's not just the stress in that like women, for example, our grandmother has been like a seamstress working double jobs or whatever, and there's a certain amount of stress, like the client needs a nice gown or something and you have to create that and there's a deadline to it, right? So it's not just like the fact that there's a big job and it needs to get done, but it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's almost like there are too many unknown unknowns, like things can pop up, like when you're a seamstress things don't pop up. When you're
Mm-hmm.
the principal of a school, like there's only a limit, like these two kids were fighting, such and such didn't do their homework and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like there's a limited number of things that can go wrong,
Mm-hmm.
whereas yeah, especially if you're dependent on stuff like stock market or stuff like um, uh, for example, responses or buy-in from another company to do something.
It's
Yeah,
all
like
like, oh, what, blah 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 company, blah blah blah. This is why men are so great at this, because they're kind of stupid and they can just throw themselves into the stupidity.
but I'm surprised you say fake in the sense like the money in your account at the end of a stock sale is not fake.
But like
Unless
the
you're saying like it's all digital and sort of to the
no,
human
fake
brain it
as
feels
in
fake.
um hmm, fake as in like, I don't know, like most office jobs, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
doing something, you're not doing like you're not a plumber. A plumber's job is not bake.
Very few people can be plumbers, Angie. This is you started with a high bar of usefulness to society. Yeah, I'm just sort of thinking like, for example, I wouldn't consider women who are in marketing, like sending these stupid marketing emails. Are they stressed, or because like I always see them as sort of like half on welfare, like they're technically sending emails and meeting deadlines, dubious
Okay,
deadlines.
even no, they're stressed. Even though you
Hmm.
don't think the job is stressful, they're stressed and they make it hell for everyone else
Hmm.
because they think it's like this super important job or whatever.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, there's a certain amount of like relaxation that women needs, otherwise
Mhm.
they take it out on everyone around them. It's true.
Like I don't have that relaxation.
Hmm.
I'm very stressed out all the time.
And,
So
and
I
this
think
is
the
without an
perfect
office job. So imagine with an office job, what would happen?
I I think for me the perfect job is definitely housewife. And you
Yeah.
know me, um I could be a lawyer, I could be everything, all of those things. But I'm just not cut out for those. I want things to be easy
Mm-hmm.
and I chose housewife not because of this like, oh, traditional feminine blah blah blah. I chose it because it's easy.
Controversial
And
words.
easy. It's easy.
Didn't
It's
did
much
you
easier.
don't you know it's like a whole nother job? Being a housewife
No,
is
it's
not
not.
easy. Didn't you know? We have to
Okay,
stick to the script. You're selling out. You're betraying the female secret here.
it might be difficult as in like the task, the day is busy, you have to do a lot of things, blah blah blah. Difficult in that sense, but like easy in a sense that you don't have a boss, it's your own home, like you do the cooking and then you eat the food. So like you work for yourself.
Yeah,
If you
there's
clean the
something.
house, your house is clean.
Yeah, there's a way where it's like mentally uh not eroding your personality.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think you're right. Like office jobs of a particular kind, like just make the woman a, a, a different person almost, like that, you know, become much more, yeah, stressed. And then like the stress itself causes like 10,000 different problems. Like they might either overeat, or they might do either damage to themselves, and or they will take it out on their colleagues and interns or whoever they get like an inch of power over. So yeah, like there's also, I think, a male version of this where sometimes like an office worker, like imagine like a 6'5" athletic male office worker. Okay, like
Mm-hmm.
you just know that guy was meant to lead an army to like get gold from the neighboring army. And he's like, what's he doing? Like sending emails. It's not suitable. Yeah, but
I agree.
we'll get to that in our worst jobs for men at some point. But
True.
do you want us now to tell us the fun plumbing fact of the day?
Okay. Yeah, let's see. Um I feel like we sort of, when we start off with like worst jobs for women, it sort of comes off as like the alpha male podcasty opinions of like we hate women, they're terrible, they're all lost causes, whatever, which is not my position at all. So I just want it to be known that I love women. I just want us to do good for ourselves. And maybe in the like 80s or 90s when everything was much easier, women liked their careers, but now my friends,
Mm-hmm.
all college educated, like all worked their ass off to like get that college degree in elementary school, in high school, in college as well.
Mm-hmm.
And like they got these amazing titles of, like engineer of this and seller of that, whatever. All they ever want to do now is like to get married and not have to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this was so surprising to me because like I knew these people from like age 14 and until this point. At all times they were like, yes, we're going to get jobs, we're going to be this, we're going to be that. Maybe it's about like also the economic collapse of Turkey as well, because like you get these engineering titles and the money is shit, and now you're like, holy shit, I'm betraying my gender for like $500 a month.
Yeah.
um so I just want to be out there that I love women. I want what's best for women, and certainly what's best for women is not like manager of a finance firm. Just putting it out there, ladies.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
And lawyer. I think your thing was better. I wish I thought of that. I wish I thought of lawyer.
oh, we're riffing off each other. Yeah. Like I think I don't know if I have your like blanket love of women. I think like women certainly have um, degenerated like modern women to a point where, and I'm not just talking about like the way they dress or whatever, I'm just like the way they behave, right? The lack of charm, the lack of grace, the lack of mystery in like your average woman. And this has been perhaps for generations. Like I don't really see that in the generation above us much any also. It's just so disappointing. Like I feel I'm discovering the laws of femininity the way like Columbus discovered America, like why was there no map for this? And why are we learning it from the school of affluence and type stuff?
True.
So yeah, but I support both men and women that are, trying to get more aligned with their spirits.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, on that note, let's go to our fun plumbing fact.
Of the day, which is not weird at all. It's not weird at all. I want to make sure you know that a Gen Z girl is like obsessed about plumbing and wants to marry a plumber and fantasizes about, various plumbing facts. I'm just saying it's totally normal, but go ahead.
This is a very fitting fun fact because it's about like job placement. Okay.
Oh,
Did you know in another life, Albert Einstein wanted to be a plumber?
oh,
It is
wow.
reported that he said he wanted to be a plumber if he had the chance to do it all over again. And because of this, the Plumbers and Steamfitters Union have actually made him an honorary member.
Oh my gosh.
So Einstein is an honorary plumber.
Wow. Wow. I did not know there's such a thing as an honorary member of a pipe fitters union.
So that we know, like, so now that we know that, can we get to making me an honorary member, perhaps?
The biggest fan of plumbers anyway. You know how like there are patron saints of certain causes, like Saint Nicholas, patron saint of children. It's like we have Angie, patron saint of plumbers, plumber evangelist everywhere, international plumbing evangelist. Yeah, I feel like this is like the definition. You know how like before a YouTuber like Nile Red, there was no real such thing as a DIY chemist that makes and films experiments, like a one person job that's like that did not exist. And I feel you're being very modern by inventing your own job, which is like plumbing evangelist. So well, why not? Why not? We can start writing to various plumbing unions.
True. I just want to know that they have a champion in me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But even Einstein, like this guy is the pinnacle of his. Anyone who wants to be considered smart wants to be considered. It's basically like a word to be an Einstein,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, in several languages, in fact.
True, true.
Uh,
Even in Turkish.
yes, even in Turkish. So that guy wanted to be a plumber. Imagine. He gets it. Like he so gets it.
See, I feel like, you know, other than the fact that he validates your plumbing obsession, he also sat in a room, like probably on a Friday night, he was solving equations. So I feel like you would not take Einstein's word on anything, but just because he validates your opinion on plumbing, you're now like a supporter of Einstein. I don't know if I can witness this hypocrisy without pointing it out, but
Well, okay, before I knew of this fact, to me, Einstein was just some nerd guy.
right. And your opinion of him was very low, I'm sure.
I mean, it wasn't even low. It was like, he
Non-existent.
existed. Whatever.
Yes.
He did some math, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He said time does something when it's not doing another thing. It didn't affect me, okay? That's all I know.
He just lived and died, and that's, and that was no harm to you, and that's all you ever wanted a man.
Okay, so E equals MC cubed, like, let's say, instead of squared, makes no difference in my life. But Einstein wanting to be a plumber, it changes everything. Now he's on my radar. I now respect him.
Now you might even read into relativity. Now that you know, like he respected plumbers. What else might you have
True.
thought?
What does he have to say? Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm interested now.
This is like our or at least your litmus test on like sanity. You know how like people when they meet each other they like coyly ask general political opinions maybe, and it's like starts getting abstract, like I don't know, like for example, do you support homeschooling? But like if you do, that probably means you also agree with them on 1,000 other things and you're like of a similar mind. And with Angie, this is like plumbing. Like, what are your thoughts on plumbing? Open-ended, like discuss.
Okay, I liked someone way back when, and during like a conversation, he mentioned going camping a lot.
Okay.
That was a relationship that never happened.
That was not even a red flag. That was like block flag. Yeah.
I wish him well. I hope he's happy.
Shitting in the woods, as
Yeah.
you've made abundantly clear. Yeah. That wow. He must have really not known you for him to mention that. Like he should have hidden that like a, black sheep family secret that you never say out loud.
Okay, imagine my like future partner being very secretive and not answering his phones and not coming home. And then I'm like, oh, is he cheating on me? And then we find out he goes camping.
He was just camping. Yeah.
Oh,
Be honest, Angie, is it better or worse that he was camping? I'm just asking.
I'm actually thinking, hold on.
There's a pause, like the answer is not at all obvious.
I think cheating can be excused in cases of like the woman was like extremely attractive. Fine, I get it, but camping, I don't.
Right? Like cheating is like a momentary lapse, right? But him going camping means he's been lying to you for years.
Exactly.
Hiding
So
from
it's
what
going to be
else
very
could you be
difficult.
hiding? Yeah, cannot.
And then I could hire a female lawyer who will argue that him going camping is reason for divorce.
Yeah. Let alone divorce, it's reason for jailing him.
Exactly.
Fraud. Yeah.
I take the kids, like, because he went camping.
You write a refugee application to the West, like. Why not at this point, right? They'll accept.
Why not?
Yeah. They took a gay imam who, upon coming to the US, remembered that he was actually heterosexual, So why not at this point? Yeah.
Could I seek asylum as a straight person who later turns gay?
Yeah. I, huh. Well, not yet, but there's a
Like,
first for
let's say
everything.
I'm seeking asylum and it's not going well, okay? They're not buying it. And I'm like,
They're not
"Oh,
buying the
actually,
camping story.
I've just realized I'm gay. So is there anything we could do about that?"
I just learned. Yeah.
Just upon seeing you, I realized.
Uh, upon seeing that it's one of the criteria, it occurred to me that yeah, there's, you know, to be explored. All right.
All right.
Are we transitioning to the best jobs for women?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll get started.
Sure.
I thought the best job for a woman is luxury car saleswoman.
Oh,
What do you think?
that is so specific.
Yes, yes, but attainable. Um,
Yeah.
so the reason is sort of like the way I mentioned about the worst job for a woman lawyer, like always encouraging you to argue. Like it's almost always like the person emanating where the words emanate from doesn't matter as much as the words in that profession.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like in the luxury sales woman, luxury car saleswoman, it's exactly the opposite. It's more your presence and like poise and like
Mm.
the car specs are already the car specs, right? Like nobody is going to Maserati to learn like whether it's a 5 diesel and 5 whatever engine or 6 whatever engine, because like they can already read that shit online, probably much better than any particular salesperson could explain it, right? So it's much more like you keep meeting people. And I also think I specifically said luxury as opposed to like general sales, because I think there's a certain like uh like if women are constantly in this like haggling mode where like they meet clients that are scrimping and saving, like they're looking out
Mm-hmm.
for like 5 cents, not too much, and they're always in this like adversarial mode to her, that's also going to like cultivate bad properties. Instead, like you want a relaxed woman that's going to like speak softly and like talk about the diesel engine and how it can go from 0 to 60 in the zero point 0.1 seconds, and blah, like speak softly, be gentle, fill out a couple forms, be present for a couple of like drive-bys, smile,
Hmm.
take calls. But like other than that, she's not going to be stressed too much about her commission, because like you sell one Maserati and like, like what's a bad commission on a Maserati? It's still a lot, right? So it's not like enormously grating on her. She's not like constantly um, meeting the kind of clients or the kind of men that are,
Well, yeah, you have to
yeah,
push and
annoying.
yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I said
Why
luxury.
cars? Why not, clothing?
Um, oh, I sort of thought that I want the clients to be men, because I think like
Hmm.
the sort of charms of women don't work on other women because they know
True.
it's bullshit.
True. That's true.
So, like, even for example, I wouldn't say um like celebrity makeup artist, for example. Like, I'm not sure if they have a easy time with their clients, because their clients are
Mm-hmm.
female too, and like even if a woman is like paying $5,000, she gets annoyed if it's like $5,010 or something.
Mm.
Like if she feels cheated out of $10 in a $5,000 transaction, she gets annoyed, right? In a way that like men don't. And so I
Mm.
thought it might be easier to work, yeah, with men.
Mm. Interesting. Okay. That's a very specific job. Very, very specific.
Yeah,
Interesting.
true.
I I'm trying to think of like luxury car places that I've seen, and I don't really recall seeing many female salespeople.
Mm,
Maybe this is a
really?
new
Ooh. We should
avenue.
look into that. Yeah. Because I feel like I'm not sure if you're a man. and you're like in the market for a Ferrari, like I'm pretty sure you don't care about the salesperson. Like either it's so little money to you that you don't care, or it's so much money to you that you've already done your research. Like either way, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you don't really care about the salesperson. So
Interesting. I
you'd
feel like
rather
I
have
remember
a,
seeing men, but
huh?
maybe they
No, I'm
keep the
saying
women in the back.
maybe that's what comes after you buy. The woman is in the car with you. She's the bonus. She's what they throw in for free. Yeah, maybe you're right. Like it might be the case that it's male salesman, but I intuitively, I also like don't know anyone that sold luxury cars for a living. Um, but this is just what I personally intuited. Like I think it's well aligned with female nature.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good observation. I never expected this. Like
interesting.
it's very specific. It's so interesting.
True, true.
But I
What?
can see myself agreeing with you. Yeah, because in car shows and stuff, they always bring out like model females,
Mm-hmm.
female models, I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's great. That's what you want. Like the men already know what they want to know about the car, and they just want to see like a pretty woman next to a car who doesn't care about the cars, you know?
I always,
Perfect.
because I'm a woman, I never like really understood why you go to a car, like you go to a strip club and you expect to see like a half naked woman, right?
Yeah.
Or like you're in a bar, in a nightclub, whatever. I never understood why in a car show they want like half naked women there. And then I was like, they don't really need a reason.
That's true.
They're just there and they make things better.
Yes. Just by their presence. And I love that, like, there's no pretense. Car show is even like a more perfect example of this. Like, there's no pretense that the blonde babe knows anything about the car, right? She might as well be sitting on a horse and buggy, like, for all she cares. And that's perfect. Like, no one expects, she's just there by her, they don't even talk, right? She's just
Yeah,
there
no.
by her presence. She brightens up the place. You know, that's what I love. That's what I
Mm,
want for women.
interesting. Maybe car dealerships will see this, listen to this, and
And
hire
hire
more
women.
women. We're
Yes.
such good feminists. Like, this is what feminism is all about.
Exactly. You know, I told this to you before, but like one thing that irks me in the tech industry is when women gather together and like talk to their company or give a speech to their company about why there should be more women in tech. But like that's what they use the time for. Like they have an audience, and instead of saying, you know, hey guys, like us women, we made this cool technology in like 3 days, you know, can you imagine like what kinds of awesome technology you'd get if you got more females? Like that's actually making a case for more women, right? No, like instead they just use the time to bitch like endlessly about more women in tech for no reason, like for no apparent reason other than the fact that it's like you know um like the snake that devours its tail, like self-contained, tautological, like we want more
Also,
because we want more.
has it ever occurred to you nerds that women don't want to work in tech?
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
but these are the
keep
women
it. Keep the
advocating.
tech job.
Please keep the tech job. Yeah. So this is why we make a great feminist case for it. Like it's perfect for the women and it's perfect for the men in the case of luxury car saleswomen.
True. I agree. It's
Nice.
interesting. I agree.
Excellent. So to round us off, Inge, do you want to talk about the 2023 Angie's best job for women? Woo!
Okay. My best job for women is a receptionist slash assistant.
Okay. Nice.
Um,
Explain.
okay. Contrary to popular belief, like if you're not a totally stupid, ugly person, as an assistant, you can make a lot of money.
Mm.
Um, if money is like a concern to you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you get to meet, like if you're an assistant to the CEO or something, I'm not talking about like entry level jobs. I'm talking about like you're actually in a good position.
Mm-hmm.
Or like you're a receptionist in like a really nice place or whatever. You get to meet a lot of great people. You get to be nice to them. You get to be, yourself. You have to look good, obviously. So you get to wear nice clothes and stuff. And you get to do like stressful jobs, but not in a way that I was saying in those worst jobs. Stressful in like there's actually like a material deliverable, like this email needs to be sent, this appointment needs to be booked, kind of deliverable. And then and then you're actually helping, you're actually doing something useful.
Yeah.
And I guess in a way, receptionist, assistant, librarian, I think could also be a kind of receptionist, like a special kind of receptionist. So I would include like librarian in that definition as well. And
That's
then
for
you
the
get to help
ugly
people.
ones, right?
Exactly. I used to think, because like I was stupid, I used to think, oh, there are better jobs, like there are more like higher level jobs such as engineer and whatever. But now I've changed my mind. I think assistant is such a better job than engineer. And then you can go find another job, like from assistant you can go to investor relations if that's your desire. It's not a dead-end job. And you get to meet a lot of important people. You get to learn how the business works because you have to arrange everything, whatever. And it's actually like a feminine job. Like you're not required to restrict your female self for the job. You're actually encouraged to look good, be nice, whatever.
Yeah. There's arranged stuff. Like you can tell it's so feminine because women already do this at home. Like stay-at-home women, their only
Our
job
assistants,
is like,
basically.
yeah. That's exactly like actual receptionist assistant is the office version of the stay-at-home mom. And also like women, when they're indoors in their houses, like they make YouTube channels and stuff, they're constantly organizing stuff that, like, by color, by this, by like kitchen organization. YouTube is, or like I went to Dollar General and I like clipped this from here and organized this way or that way. That's like very much a female thing. So I fully agree. Like there's no argumentation in it. Like your interaction with people when you're in the position of an assistant or receptionist, it's already like all the arguments are already sort of sorted by the man, as in like if there's a contract to be hammered out, that's already been taken care of, right? You just need to like set the appointment for when the project gets started or something. So,
which is the fun part. Nobody cares about some boring old contract.
yeah.
At least I don't. Anyways, I don't. Maybe this is me projecting my fantasies. I don't know.
But the work of an assistant, I very much agree. And it's much more, I think, attainable than my thing, which is a more kind of specialized sort of job. And there are not that much of these, but like assistant, receptionist, there are many of those jobs. And it's a really nice, really nice female job. I also know like we have this family orthopedic doctor back home, and his assistant is a woman.
Her.
Yeah.
I love her.
What do you think of her? Describe her a little bit.
She's just this go-getter, can do anything for you, can procure any appointment at any day, anytime. She will like, because you need to have the MRIs and stuff done in another place. My mom was there and I was like, the MRI place is too far away. Can we like go to that place some other day because currently we don't have a car? And she was like, oh no, I'll just get a car for you. And she like clicked and messaged some people and it was done. A car was arranged.
Nice.
And then in the 5 minutes I was in the waiting room, like she ordered herself some clothing, some dresses. And then she like arranged for some doctor stuff, and then she arranged for some like whatever, like office supplies to come in, and then she talked to the patients. I love her so much. And then every day she wears something else because I was going for PT sessions, so I saw her like every day. and then she was wearing different stuff, and then she knows literally all the doctors. Like it's such a privilege to not be a doctor because you don't have to work that hard and stuff. It's a different kind of hard work, but like you don't have to be a doctor, but then you know
Mm-hmm.
everyone in medicine, like literally everyone. And
Yeah.
you're doing small favors for them, and now they owe you favors. Like the
Yes.
power she holds as an, measly assistant is what we see, but the absolute power she holds.
Yeah. Like there's absolutely so a reason this doctor is one of the prominent like doctors you can probably count on one hand in whole of Turkey in his specialty, and like he paid out her severance and for her to come with him as he was setting up his private practice, meaning like she is not at all interchangeable. Like he could not make an ad for assistant tomorrow and like get someone of that caliber easily. Like she's
Mm-hmm.
definitely made herself very what do you call it when like other like she's made herself indispensable. That's the word I'm looking. Yes,
Indispensable, yeah.
very indispensable. She has cultivated a huge network, which is exactly right. Like this economy of favors, this is already what women do, right? Like you buy a
Mm-hmm.
little gift here and you expect a little gift there, and like or the for example at home equivalent of this is like remembering all the birthdays of the family members and like sending cards or whatever, but she's doing it on a professional level. And yeah, it's so befitting female nature. Another thing
Exactly.
was that reminded me with the dressing and like presenting and receiving new people and meeting new people is that this is so important for women. Like there was a thing on TikTok that I really loved where a woman was sort of complaining where a man asked like what her hobbies were, and she's like, how do I tell someone that my hobby is like getting dressed up and putting on makeup and like going to a coffee shop and sitting there, you know? And I was like, yes, yeah, that's like, let me tell you, that's the hobby of 80% of the women there. Like they just want to spend inordinate amounts of time getting pretty as they can and be in a place where they meet lots of people. And a coffee shop is a bad version of it because like other people are not there to meet you. But when you're the receptionist, like people come to talk to you and to see you.
Exactly.
And yeah, that's just enormously helpful. And it's also a perfect compliment, I have to say. Like, actually, your thing is even better because luxury car salesman is technically like something that men can do as well. So, like, just by having the job, you're basically like competing with other men for the job in some sense.
Mm-hmm.
And what I think like assistants and receptionists, executive assistant, that sort of work, like men inherently cannot do it. They hate it.
Exactly.
Like
They could
they
never.
exactly like this economy of like favors and like network and calling. I remember like this assistant that you're talking about, assistant to this doctor, like she is on the phone with like three different people at the same time and like managing three different conversations, you know. She's just like, men would hate that shit. They would like press
Mm-hmm.
pause and jump off a cliff if they had a
I
job
think
like
men
that.
perform better in fast-paced, like big chaoses that like start and finish quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But women are better at slow-paced chaos that's like small chaoses every
Yes,
day
small
that you
scale,
have to
small,
cultivate and
100%. Yeah. And it's like women are better in these sort of gray areas where it's about like network and favors, and like men want contract, like clear delineation of responsibilities. And yeah, it's a perfect job. I love it.
also I really want to see like a woman at the reception as a woman myself.
Mm.
I was in a job interview a while back in like
Mm-hmm.
this it was a good neighborhood, but like the building was super sketchy. There's nothing in the building, and I'm like, oh God, please don't murder me. If you do, it's my fault for coming in here. And like the only thing that made me not nope out of there was this nice female receptionist who was like, hi, how are you? Take a
Mm.
seat. That's it. Like she was like, oh, how was your day? Are you excited? Blah blah blah. If it wasn't for her, I would have been like, nope, you guys are crazy. So you're literally the point of contact, the first point of contact for that business.
Yeah, it's reassuring to see. That's true.
Especially in a medical setting, I think also I would want to see a woman.
It sort of reminded me, I don't see, my mind works in bad ways, but I remember Epstein in
Yeah, I do. Oh, yeah. I mean, his assistant was also
exactly.
because these poor young women, they would never believe a man ever.
Right. You needed a female in that role to groom them.
So
whether
like a man could groom like one young girl, like you could work on one and then you groom her, but that's just one. But this woman at the same time groomed like 50 women, 100 women, unknown, like it's unknown.
The power of the female receptionist for dark causes.
Exactly. She's if she could have been great. She could have been great.
Yeah. Oh, Ghislaine.
And imagine this billionaire, what took him down was not, or like his weak point is not all the other billionaires he knows, or like these important people who work for him, or the engineers who work for him, or whatever. His weak point was the measly assistant.
Did Ghislaine take him down?
He didn't, but she didn't. But like she was the one who was called in for the trials and stuff. So she was the point. He had loads of like loads of people working for him, loads of people privy to more information, the IT people, whatever. But she was the one who the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, I think like this is a sort of under discussed side, but like these receptionists, assistants, secretaries, they know where the bodies are buried.
Exactly.
Like, they have job retention simply because like if the employer even thought about turning on her, like firing her without a fat severance, there's like 20 years of history, 20 years of complaints she could lodge. Yeah.
I have another best jobs for women.
Ooh,
a very niche
honorable
job.
mention.
Honorable mention.
So just to recap, we had the receptionist assistant for the pretties and librarian for the uglies. And now even more niche. Tell us.
I'm thinking jobs that are not physically demanding but are disgusting.
Oh, what?
So, for example, autopsy doctor, like funeral director,
interesting.
jobs like that. I think women are perfectly cut out for these disgusting types of jobs. Well, I say disgusting because I find them disgusting, like dead bodies and stuff like that. But I think some women, it's a very, very small percentage of women, but I think they like really fit the bill. They're detail oriented. They're not. And disgusting jobs like these really attract the creepy men. Like it's a fact that funeral homes will hire women, especially.
That's so interesting.
Yep. I mean, you can guess why.
Well, so you're saying like from the funeral home's perspective, why they hire women?
I mean, why do they hire a woman to like embalm the body over a man?
So I have a guess. I don't want these images in my head.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's like this with animal shelters too.
What? No.
Yeah, they want women volunteers.
Because so the thought I have in my head is correct, right? Because the men.
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
The sausages will come out.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Oh, that's terrible.
So there are things you would trust with a woman that you wouldn't trust with a man. And I think these disgusting jobs are perfect.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that, I didn't know that was a thing, but oh my god, yeah. Like and it's also pretty sensitive in the sense that like they're not only are they disgusting, but like they also are sensitive. Like an
Exactly.
animal shelter or a funeral home, they wouldn't like even one news saying how they treat animals or how they, God forbid, treat the bodies are it would be devastating for them, right? So they want like zero bad press. So yeah, zero mistakes, tolerance
And
for
it's like
mistakes.
it's a bit of a discrimination thing too. Let's say it's, for example, kindergarten. I would never want a
Ever.
male kindergarten teacher ever.
100%. Yeah.
It might be the best like babysitter. It might be the best, and there are terrible female babysitters too. Like there have been women who have molested children as well. Like I'm not saying there have never been any, but still I wouldn't. I never
Yeah.
would trust a man to take care of my child. And I never would trust a man to embalm my mother.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I
You're
would just,
very true.
let's not say not trust, but let's say if I saw a woman, I would be very, very happy, much, much happier.
Yeah. Yeah. Like every profession has it. Like to me, it's the kind of, I don't know, like this is one version, you might say, of like women working as cleaners as well, like home cleaner. It's almost like in-home clean, like maids, it's always
Yeah.
archetypally a female role, right? Like no one, people rarely have in-house maids that are men for similar reasons. Like the job by itself, if a man applies to it, like you almost think the wrong kind of man is attracted to that kind
Exactly.
of job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was a good one. Wow.
Yeah.
Very specific. So this one, what do you think? Is it for the pretties or the uglies or both?
I think funeral director for the uglies
Mm-hmm.
and autopsy doctor for the pretties.
Ooh. All right. Love it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Don't ask me to explain. I will not.
That's intuitive. I feel like I got it, and no more needs to be said around why.
Yeah, because I feel like if you were truly beautiful, you wouldn't want a job that involves embalming dead people. I don't know. If you're a funeral director watching this, I'm sorry, you're creepy. And if you like it, that's fine. That's your prerogative. Like, good for you. I just think it's super creepy that you chose this job.
Oh my God. And if our invitation is always open for people that Angie dunks on, if there's any funeral directors in our audience that want to defend their way of life, by all means, we'll talk it out on our podcast.
Look. When it comes to campers versus funeral directors, campers
directors
are still worse.
I believe you. Yeah. All right, Angie. I love it.
Do you one last thing?
Mm-hmm.
I hear they're arresting. They have arrested maybe even Donald Trump, my second favorite president.
Oh, who's your favorite? Is there a plumber president I don't know about?
No. Okay, my favorite president, simply because he's handsome, is the Kennedy one.
Oh, JFK, the one that was shot?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. He's not handsome.
He is handsome. Yeah.
Oh, come
because
on.
you have no taste, but he was handsome.
I feel like this is like the Kennedy family trying to sigh up women everywhere. Like, come on now. Come on. He's not, but okay, fine. But I support the criteria. I just don't agree with with how he measures up. Like I support holding men up higher because they're handsome. But he's not handsome. But fine.
I mean, okay, compared to like Lincoln and FDR.
I mean, I guess if you had to rank presidents, I might, that's like, that's a very limited pool of men among presidents. Fine, maybe.
Oh, who's your favorite president?
Oh, so simply because of what I kind of know about him, I think Teddy Roosevelt, like he's this like.
Ooh, interesting. Why?
Yeah. So he took up like boxing and he was very much into physical health, and he tried to cultivate it among the people as well by making lots and lots of national parks preserved to this day. and like nature, vitality. I just love that sort of,
True.
yeah.
Anyways, did they arrest my second favorite president?
Your second favorite president? I am not sure. I mean, honestly,
What's
like,
happening? What did he do? Did he do anything, or is this just like people being not having anything to do?
no, not. This is like, at a certain level, like law is just exists to like get rid of your political enemies. Everywhere, in Turkey as well.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't actually do anything then.
I
Like
mean,
any crime that's a stealing something, killing someone, whatever, like
no,
actual
not like,
crime.
yeah, not an actual crime, but like, you know
Okay.
how there's like 1,000 pages of laws that are, you can never abide by. Like if anyone wants to examine your life with a microscope, like they're going to find some little thing. So they found some little thing. And it's like the littlest of little, this is like the same thing as like, I don't know, like throwing someone in jail for jaywalking. Like it might technically be illegal, but like everyone's doing it and no one, and the only person who's going to jail for it would be
My
the
second
political.
favorite president.
Yeah.
He's my second favorite because he was so much fun. Like I
Yes.
followed US politics to a T during those 4 years. And usually I don't give a shit.
Yes, same. That he was a comedian. My favorite part. Let's close out with our like favorite Trump moments. So mine was when he said, when someone was telling him, "Oh my God, like you judge people based on their looks," and this was Rand Paul that like was criticizing him, another potential candidate, and Trump retorted back like, "I never criticized your looks, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter there." Loved it.
He was always like that. He was so
Yes.
yeah, he was so funny. Always so funny.
Perfect. Yes. He's being wasted on the American people. Like
Exactly.
he's
Oh my
gold.
God. I think he would do better in like Russia and maybe even Turkey. Like we really need a politician who doesn't care about the issues, but like is more fun, you know?
Yes. Like ours are so wound, so tight. Like, oh my God, we need a little bit more humor for sure.
Like yeah, the news person asks him about the economy and he's like, "You have nice tits." Like
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
president I want.
Exactly. That's what I want
Uh,
to. All right,
okay,
what's your
well,
favorite Trump moment?
oh, my favorite Trump moment. Okay, let's see. I guess. Okay, the roast of Hillary Clinton was very funny.
What was
Um,
that roast?
oh my gosh, you don't know? They like roasted each other, but only Donald Trump was funny.
Oh, I don't remember. Is it probably crooked? Is that where that came from?
I'm not sure.
He used to
No
say like
idea.
cricket Hillary, and it stuck. It stuck like glue because it makes so much.
He's so funny. He's so funny. That's my favorite moment. When a reporter was trying to ask him something stupid, and he was like, "Are you from China? Did China send you? Did China send you?" I love that. Are you from China?
Perfect.
Everyone, when they ask him something he doesn't like, he's like, "Are you from China? China sent you?"
Love it. Love it.
But okay, I'm gonna watch that again. The roast of Hillary Clinton. It was so
I
funny
should too. Yes. Yes. We'll close out with that.
because with Hillary Clinton, it was like unfunny jokes that were clearly written by some poor intern
Oh,
who was
yeah.
also unfunny. But then Trump was like, he just knew when he became president, the roasts were gonna be like official state dinner roasts. That was gonna be
Legendary.
like first.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
So Inja, I
I
just
miss him.
remembered as we're closing out, we didn't do the land acknowledgements. So in closing,
Oh,
we would like
oh,
to
this is so boring. Do we have to? Do they actually do
acknowledge.
this every time?
They do. They do.
So
Please, we
boring.
stand on the shoulders of plumbers, past, present, and future.
Future,
And
exactly. Listen, I
goodbye.
love
And
plumbers. It's
yes,
fine, but it's so boring.
TD. We'll make it fun next time. But all right, talk to you next time. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.